Beloved children, greetings. There is something inside that needs to be revealed. You need to expand and, therefore, you should show in all its essence. There is no time to hide, to live within a spiritual box, without showing your love to the world. It is time to get out of that box that insulates. You are kept because thus do not show how vulnerable they can be in their actions, in their lifestyles and their noble mission of planetary rise. There is a large heart on his chest, which has its imperfections, which is subject to mood swings and difficulties of life, but why not surrender the soul to all this imperfection that think they have within you? I do not see imperfection, but to see, show the world how beautiful is this imperfection which makes them perfect. It is embracing our own imperfection that we assume the world that we are, yes, flawed, imperfect, but we can love us anyway. There is much demand of you in search of beauty and purity of the spiritual path, where life must be beautiful, with peace, goodness, and balance. But if not, how you feel? Why they need to be spiritual if you are human, vulnerable to the sword of chance and the game of life? Why control something that by nature is flawed and vulnerable? Love exists only from our own recognition, without masks, without doubt, without the desmaresmos and accepting that everything we believe is made. The wind passes us and goes. We are. It is, yes, vulnerable to life, events, and all we have, can be taken now to us. That's the beauty of life. Embrace and jump with open arms in all this magic, which is the vulnerability of life. Being vulnerable, imperfect, but have acceptance. Live all this doubt, this life that even remotely is the ideal of our dreams, but is one who indulges in a dance to your partner and trust will hold you. I have love itself, like you, and deliver vulnerable to imperfection way we are. This is the end of life. Because one day or another, we all have to give ourselves to our imperfection, our vices, to our weaknesses, and why cannot it be now? Imperfect may be the perfection of the world. Be vulnerable may be the best way to control life and not to undergo any social caprice. Just being in essence our own vulnerability and imperfection. I was among you, but it was from a vulnerable life, who raised me the most imperfect of life, in which I found that everything else was belief in my mind and what I imagined as ideal, it would never be reached. On that day, I stopped wanting to be something, and I went. I no longer want to do, I accepted myself, and thus I began to love me. And who would say was when I discovered my imperfection, who accepted me as perfect. For a long time, I sought perfection that many said to have, but it was when I discovered my imperfection, I found out who it was. Perfection is in the heart and not the mind. The control is in the delivery and confidence, acceptance of vulnerability. Love is in discovering that we belong to a much larger family than taught us and that we all deserve, simply because we belong, and nothing more. It is love which we belong, is the acceptance that we are, is the delivery of life that we love. And from there, we are perfect because we stop wanting to be. Only we are imperfect and vulnerable to life. To love are vulnerable, are imperfect, but are you, because beauty is far from all moral content, that said be true. Nothing is true, in addition to its own imperfection to the world. Be in peace, my brothers, the graces of God. Master Nada.